Yo, what's happening? What's going on? Before I begin, I want to say this. I've done videos about Charlotte in the past, and some of you all might have gotten these videos that I've done about Charlotte, as far as critiquing Charlotte, as being negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like the city, or I don't like the city. To be real with you, is the exact opposite. I really like this city. I like the people. I like the Charlotteans. You know what I'm saying? I can go as far as to say that Charlotte is my home. That out of all of the cities in the state of North Carolina that I've lived in the longest would be Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? And I remember living in Raleigh, North Carolina, and looking at Charlotte from a distance, doing my research and saying to myself that, you know what, man, Raleigh is not really that city for me. And maybe I need to, search out and see if there's a bigger and better city with more opportunities. Not taking heed. I've lived in Greensboro, Durham, Raleigh, a little bit in Fayetteville. So I've stayed in just about every city in North Carolina that's, known, with the exception of Charlotte. I mean, the only times that I ever came up here prior to living here was, going to Carowinds. But other than that, I didn't know too much about the city. I didn't have any family members here. I didn't know anyone that lived here. So I took my chances and I moved my family up, down here in Charlotte in 2009. And I can honestly say that it was the best decision that I made at the time. I learned a lot living here in Charlotte. And I could talk about the pros and the cons. I embraced the city. I know about the history of the city. I praise the areas such as Brooklyn and Cherry, places where Black people at once flourished. I wasn't one of these, these people that just ventured down here and decided they just wanted to live here, and they didn't care about the Charlotteans, the people that were here, let alone their history. Charlotteans' history, that is. I didn't care about that, but I did. I've been to the homecomings, Johnson C. Smith University. You know what I'm saying? I've been to different events in and around the city. So don't get it twisted. I like this city. But now, hey man, this city has turned into something that I can't identify with. And even though I'm a transplant, and I don't know what it was like prior to me moving here, let the Charlotteans say it. It was worse, the violence that is, back in the 90s than what it is compared to now. I don't know that Charlotte. The only Charlotte that I know is from 2009 up to now. And I can say that this city has grown dramatically, drastically. And now I can't identify with it. I'm an introvert by force. Because it seems as though that every time I step out, I'm not talking about listen. I'm not talking about like going to the club or going somewhere where there may or may not be, it's a 50-50 chance, where there'll be some popping off. That's not, I'm talking about just going out like across town. Going to a Target or to the mall or something like that. It's like just about every time I go out, I run into some shit. It don't have nothing to do with me. It's not like as if, oh man, you be in the wrong place at the right time. No, you could be anywhere in Charlotte. anywhere in Charlotte nowadays and shit could pop off. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having my head on a, what is it? I forgot how they say it. Swivel. I'm tired of 360 in my area, making sure that it's straight wherever I go. Even though I'm a lawful firearm carrier, I have the right to carry and conceal. Sometimes you just get tired of it. Sometimes you don't want to take your firearm wherever you go. Sometimes you want to walk into a building or a restaurant or a club or something and not have to worry about, okay, this is the exits right here. Let me back up and, be in this corner right here so I can see from over here to over here and there and there and there. What the fuck? But that's how shit be in Charlotte. And a lot of people that's from the outside looking in, they seem to think that Charlotte is sweet, and it's not. It's not. The only thing sweet about Charlotte is the name. That's it. The city was named after a queen called Charlotte. That's it. Other than that, shit be popping off just like any other major city. Matter of fact, let me just clear this up for those that don't know. And if you don't believe me, Google it. Charlotte is a major city. Didn't know if you know that. Because I get tired of people talking about, when I talk about Charlotte, I say it's a major city. Oh, no, it's not a major city, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Stop being ghetto. Because, no, I'm just being real with you. I'm not saying all black people be on that shit. But some black people determine a major city. You know how they determine it? For real, this is my word. It's based on entertainment. How many clubs it got? How many strip clubs it got? Just basically, can I have a good time? What kind of nightlife does it have? And if it has a nightlife, then it's a quote-unquote major city. But the reality of it is Charlotte's a major city based on banking alone. New York comes first, and second banking city is Charlotte. Oh yes, Charlotte got a lot of money here. But they still suffer from the same problems that major cities have. And that's what I've came to find out, that every major city has major problems. Whether it's homelessness, drugs, crime, etc. Charlotte's no different. Real shit. Just yesterday, for those that are familiar with Charlotte, I was in Pineville, that Target, right by the light rail, the last stop at the light rail, Blue Line. And, that's Charlotte. When you cross the bridge over 485, that's Pineville. So I was in Charlotte, and I was coming out of the dollar store. So I was about to make that right where that Plato's is at. And don't lie, this is my word. Don't know why I had to see it. Or maybe I do. Maybe it was that telltale sign that, yo, it's time to go. But I'm coming out, about to make that right, and people are driving, to going across from the left and to the right, straight across me, to the left and to the right, right. So I have to wait until the cars are passing by, and right across on the other side of the parking lot, I see two couples arguing, and I'm like, it's none of my business. I ain't got shit to do with it. So, hey, I'm sitting here, I'm waiting to make the right-hand turn, and I'm not the one to be nosy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, they arguing that whatever fucking shit they got going on ain't got nothing to do with me. So the guy drives off, and the female is outside of the car. She grabs hold to the guy. He drives off, and he's literally driving off and speeding up while she's dragging on the fucking street. So I'm shook. I'm like, yo, listen, man, I've seen a lot of things, man. And I know what you're gonna say. Well, man, I know, man, the other time you said you seen a car crash on 485. And yo, I've seen a lot of things, man. This is another moment where I can say that shit shook me. I've never seen a female, a woman, ever in my life. See, I come from a different generation. Straight up. And I know why, we had these codes. A lot of 90s dudes, when they were younger, they were Scarface fanatics. And Scarface said, no women, no kids. And that was a code that everyone in the street stuck to. In this generation, there is no code. You can get it whether you are male, female, baby, grandmother, great-grandmother, aunt, uncle, autistic. You got autism, doesn't make a difference. Handicap. He drugged that broad until the broad fell and boom, dropped on the ground. So she's laid out. And I'm sitting there like this. And I'm saying to the mother of my children, she was with me. Yo, what am I supposed to do? See, I'm far removed from that type of shit. Maybe if you would have called me about 20 years ago in the hood, I would have looked at that shit like, damn, is she gonna get up off the floor? Because I really had too much, I didn't have too much emotions. Yeah, too much emotions. To see shit in the hood, I see motherfuckers get shot. And I didn't have any kids, But now I'm far removed from that shit. Now I have children. Now I have daughters. And now it's going back in my head, like back and forth. Like, what am I going to, should I get out and help her? But then I'm saying to myself, if I get out and help her and then circle back around and I got my heat on me, and maybe 40, I don't say between 35 to 40 degrees outside that day, but I had 110 on my side, on my hip, if you get what I'm saying. My hip was hot. I had that heat. And it's like, when you are a firearm owner, you gotta be responsible. So it's like, does that shit got something to do with me? And if I get involved with that shit and gotta pull out and pop, I'm gonna have to go through the whole court system to prove that was a justifiable shooting. Or let's just say I come up and I try to assist this female, and the dude circles around and he gets the ups on me. So I'm sitting in, and the mother of my children, she was the voice of reasoning. Yo, let that shit go. Drive off. And as we were about to drive off, the dude turns around and she gets back into the car. And they drive off, cursing back and forth each other. Cursing back and forth at each other. Think about that shit. Had I got involved in that shit, I could have lost my life. I could have been in jail, all for some broad that got drugged And it seemed like she was in need. It seemed like she was in a bad situation. But it wasn't that bad for her because she hopped her ass back in the car. Yo, man, it's done. It's over with. Time is up. It ain't just about Charlotte. It's about America as a whole. America as a whole. We're done. We're falling and people can't see it. We can't see it. We can't see past or beyond those dollar signs. Past or beyond that bag. And that's the reason why we truly think, hey, you know what? Shit is happening, but shit always happens. Not like this. That boy got drugged. This wasn't fucking 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. This was about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And I'm telling you, just about every time I go out, I see some shit. And I know some of y'all are going to say, well, man, you know, move to my town, move to my city. It's slow, it's this and that. Yo, people are playing musical chairs. I keep on saying this shit. Everybody's playing musical chairs in America. You hear something, you hear about Colorado, as an example now, Colorado. Colorado, they got cheaper rent, or they pay more, this and that, so pew, all Americans running in until they flood that shit up and fuck it up. And then it's, oh shit, Colorado is too high. Denver, Colorado, let's just say for example, Denver, Colorado, the city of Denver. Oh, it's too high. They ain't paying enough. The crime rate is going up. Okay, let's move this to this other city. And you just keep on going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And every city is getting fucked up. Until it gets to the point where you can't go anywhere in America because everywhere is fucked up. And that's where it's at right about now. At least in the major cities. Straight up. And it's like, man, I mean, the United States always been about that bread. You gotta pay to play. I get it. But this shit is ridiculous. Now it's all about subscriptions. You gotta subscribe to every fucking thing. I saw this shit on YouTube. This lady, she was like, yo, I bought a copy machine. Never did I think I would hear this shit ever in my life. The broad says she bought a copy machine. She bought the ink. She bought the paper. She has to provide the electricity in order for the copy machine to work. She said, you know, she was using it. And then after a month, the shit cut off. She was like, man, what the hell is going on? You know, she called, you know, the place, you know, and she was thinking, you know, maybe the copy machine broke down or whatever. And lo and behold, it was because she canceled her subscription for inkjets, for ink cartridges. So therefore, they remotely cut her fucking copy machine off. Even though the ink cartridges she had was full to the top, they cut her shit off because she needed to renew her ink cartridges because she was subscribed to whatever plan that they had going on. So in all actuality, you own nothing in America. Not a fucking thing. You gotta subscribe to every fucking thing. I said this in the last video. You go to the gas station, you can't even pay for your gas anymore. Before they ask you, well, do you want to be a value member? Or do you want to subscribe to this and subscribe? No, I just want to pay my $10 to get my fucking gas. This shit is crazy. You don't own shit. Not a motherfucker. motherfucking thing, man. Now, technology ain't so good nowadays. Now you wish you had me in the community. You remember back in the days in the early 2000s when I was out there selling bootleg CDs and movies and shit, and you be calling me the bootleg man? Well, at least when you bought a CD and a movie from me, you owned it. Nowadays, you buy some shit from Prime or Netflix or whatever have you, and you cancel that shit. The movies that you bought from it, gone. I was gonna get a PS5. This happened a while ago. I was gonna get a PS5. I was like, fuck that. Fuck that bullshit. Got the PS4, and I got all of this shit that I bought off of the online store and shit. Whether it was a digital video game or clothes or accessories to the video games, you know, that I already had. System fucked up, all that gone. Hundreds of dollars that I spent, gone. And I know what you're gonna say, well, PS5 don't have that much problems and this and that. I'm not taking no fucking chances. Straight up. That's why I check my account every fucking day. Just to make sure ain't nobody drafted nothing out of my fucking account that I didn't subscribe to. America is done. And that's real shit. And Donald Trump ain't making it better, he's making it worse. Straight up. Never did I thought that I would see the day that the Asian community and the Latino community will be bitching and complaining just like how blacks were back in the days. Because see, this fight, we're done. We told you all just how fucked up this man was and is. We forewarned you all. But what did you say? Oh, no. He ain't gonna do this, he ain't gonna do that, because he promised us. And see, the difference between us and you niggas is just that. We ain't niggas. So we on this side of the fence. And lo and behold, you fucked around and found out that the only race that they respect is their own. And they don't even respect their own either. You know how many veterans that are homeless? You know what they do to their elders? They put them in old folks' homes. You know what they do to their kids? They got black nannies to raise their children. And you thought that they were going to look out for you. Sadly mistaken. This place is going to shit. You got motherfuckers out there that's saying, well, we need to wait for Congress to re-elect, you know, the House of Senators, House of Representatives and Senators and all the rest of that shit. I think that's next midterms. That's what they call it, to vote. So we could block some of this shit that Trump is doing. Please. It's over. Gig is up. Straight up. You had your opportunity. You had your chance to turn this around and make America great. Not again, great. But you chose. And I'm not blaming it on the oligarchies of this planet. I'm not blaming it on the small elitists that run this planet. I'm blaming it on general population. We had an opportunity to unite as a people to make a change. Because see, the thing of it is if you're tired of inflation, if you're tired of the housing market, if you're tired of homelessness, if you're tired of crime and violence and all the rest of this shit, then you got to do something about it. But I realize the average American person is not tired of any fucking thing. That's all you want to do is complain. That's it. You don't want to do anything about it. That's all you want to do is complain. So the price of eggs are going to go up even far more than what they are right now. You want to know why? Because the only thing that people are doing as they're in line paying for the fucking high price eggs is bitching and complaining. Damn, these eggs cost too much. And da-da-da, boop, boop, boop. As the fucking cashier's bringing that shit up, you bitching and complaining, mumbling under your fucking breath. That ain't getting you nowhere. We lack the discipline. Because if we stopped as a collective buying eggs, eggs will go down. They would drop. The price of eggs would drop. If we said to ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Just in Charlotte alone, if we said to ourselves, you know what? We ain't going for these high price goddamn quote unquote luxury apartments. You know those same luxury apartments where you pay $3,000 for a 1-bedroom, right? And they said that you're going to have a sky view, you know, as you looking out your window. And when you look out your window, all you see is a brick fucking wall. You know those 1-bedroom, 3,000 a month apartments where you can hear the person on the left-hand side and the right-hand side and up over you and under you. Conversation when they taking a shit, when they fucking. You know those apartments. If we said, hey, listen, we ain't paying for that shit. We ain't going for that shit. And we really did something about it. We really said we ain't gonna pay no motherfucking $3,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. And I'm just gonna like I don't know. I'm gonna go back home to my mama house or some shit. They would lower those prices. They really would. But we steadily signing them leases. Steadily doing it. Can't you see? I see it in Charlotte. As I drive through the community, I see it. I see 5 or 6 fucking cars in one house. Because that's the only way people can afford to live at where they're living at. Either they're home with their mama, their parents, or they got roommates. Go to the grocery store, everybody paying with Afterpay. Everybody faking it till they making it. But in their minds, everybody's saying, man, this shit gonna end. But ain't nobody trying to stop the ending. So therefore, I'm out. You won't know when. I'm not telling you my personal business. I just know it's time for me to go. Not just leaving the city of Charlotte, the state of North Carolina, but the United States of America spelled with 3 Ks. It's time to go. When you see the Titanic, slowly but surely sinking, you don't sit there and wait to drown. You get you a little raft or one of them little boats on the side, and you get in that motherfucker and make it happen. And look at the Titanic drown from or sink from a distance. So, hey, I learned a lot. I love the Charlotteans, but it's time for me to go.